Hello, and you may notice that I didn't do a detailed breakdown of the new version of Golmud Railway Rush, and that's because it's pretty awful. This map is going to need a lot more changes and a lot more thought put into it. So what's the problem with Golmud Railway? This first set of MCOMs is just a nightmare for the attackers. So right away I can spot the enemy and I'm getting sniped at. So within about 10 seconds at the start of the round, I'm getting sniped at. And there's very little cover out here other than these rocks. But it's not just snipers I've got to deal with. There's a tank out here as well. So the tank spawned instantly at the start of the round and it's just sitting there. And 20 seconds into the round, the defenders have already pushed up to where the attackers are going to be based. So it's awful. Within the first 20 seconds I'm having to deal with snipers, a tank and somebody just rushing down the middle of the map. The defenders can run all the way around the attackers area, but the attackers can't push past the MCOMs in this area because that's out of bounds to them. So the attackers are pretty much honed in to one area, whereas the defenders are allowed to roam all the way around. Let's take a look at this first set of MCOMs from the attacker's perspective on an empty server. So this is where the MCOMs are, in this little cutting that's got the rail track in, and there's an MCOM at each end of the train. This MCOM is clearly visible from the rocks overlooking it on the defender's side. They've got the height advantage. Most of this cover has just been dumped here, so you can't get in there and hide. So the attackers have got to come into this steep-sided valley to attack the MCOMs on the train while they're overlooked by the defenders. And the defenders' spawn is close enough that they can be here before the attackers get here. And they can snipe from all those positions up there. So you'd think, well, the attackers can just push them off those hills. Nope, because as soon as you move out of there, it's out of bounds. The concrete strip at the top of this ridge is the out of bounds mark, so you can't even get to this rock here. And this rock is the only cover that's at the top of this ridge line anyway. So you can stand here and kind of crouch behind this rock, but this is as far forward as you can get as an attacker. So inbounds, out of bounds, inbounds. It's just a nightmare. So the attackers have to defend from the ridge on the other side. But there isn't enough cover either. The only cover the attackers have is rocks that are overlooked from the defender's side. Now, it is possible to rush these train MCOMs and get them armed. But once you're down here and arming it, you can't see what's coming at you, because you're in a steep-sided valley. So there's no way you can post a defence because the attackers can come at you from all angles and you don't see them until the last minute. The attackers on top of the ridge can't see down into the valley because there's no cover up there, and so you're on your own. And if your squad gets wiped, you're in real trouble because this is how far back you spawn. It's miles away and you can get sniped pretty much from the defender's spawn. So this is a terribly designed map. How can you fix it? I would take this set of MCOMs out and do to Golmud Railway what they did to Flood Zone. Take out all the vehicles, reduce the numbers of MCOMs, so base 2 would now be base 1, and just have it as an infantry fight through the buildings. Ignore this railway section completely because it's not fun, it's not a good first base. Remember, this is the base that DICE say the attackers should have the advantage. But on this map the attackers spawn further away, they're downhill, there's very little cover, they can get sniped instantly, they can get fired on by the tank almost instantly. The MCOMs themselves are in a steep-sided valley where you can't see what's coming at you. It's just too broke to be fixed. So if they do fix it, or get close to fixing it, then I'll come back and look at it again. But until then, thanks for watching.